Nenneh already arrived at the IEC. She's wearing all the white with just few escorters. As she's here to represent the Citizen Alliance as the first female candidate who's going to at the National Assembly. She's already in, so we'll talk to her later before she enter the IEC. Hey, good morning, Ma.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am lovely.
How did you feel coming to the IEC?
Oh, I feel awesome, excited. I feel very good.
We'll begin with silent prayer. All right, shall we begin with the proof of your citizenship? Income tax clearance. Now with the receipt for nomination, I'll give you a copy of the checklist. So you know those documents, all the documents that you submitted. You have a copy, we have a copy. And of course the code on election campaign ethics. We have a copy and you have a copy. And you know that it's part of the Elections Act, section 92(1). So I hand you over the receipt for nomination, pending scrutiny by the people between 11 and 3 today, and of course the verification of your supporters. Okay, if you are okay, then by the end of the day or tomorrow morning, we'll call you to come and get your acceptance. Okay, and then we will inform you when to come. For between the 15th and 17th, we'll do campaign itinerary. You know, you have for Sereconaros. So if you are the only one nominated, it will be definitely unopposed. But if not, there will be elections for Sereconaros. Okay? So good luck.
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you, Fatu.
All right, what can you tell us?
Well, all I can say, first of all, to thank God for allowing us to witness this historic day. For me, it's historic because it's my first time to contest for an elected position, and a very, very important position, which is that of the National Assembly. So obviously, I'm elated and happy, and thanking God as well.
Nenneh, we have known you for PRO as
Fatou Samba, dina la fateli waat. I like to be addressed spokeswoman because man jigen ñi lay taxawal, jigen ñi lay represent. So bëgg naa buñ ne spokeswoman ñu xam ne yëfi jigen la. Waaw, dëgg la man maa nekk spokeswoman yi Citizens Alliance, yore carte parti bi, di yore jokkalante bi between parti bi ak nit ñi. Di ci sant Yàlla rek ne tey boo gisee bés bi nii duma ne Citizens Alliance di jox Yàlla taranga gi yëpp, waaye ñoom it ñoo ma gën a puus ba ma toll fu ma toll nii. So di ci kontaan rek di leen gërëm di leen sant.
What inspired you to contest in this parliamentary election?
Well, it is first of all a call from my people, the people that live in my constituency. But of course, as a woman who from a very early age has been fighting for the cause of the woman, have been fighting for issues that has to do with the woman agenda. And at this point in time, we are talking about underrepresentation in terms of women in all aspects. So I thought it is very, very befitting. The time is right to not only be in the background fighting for other issues, but to come out here and present myself to be in the most important house, the National Assembly, to represent women and the woman agenda, the woman cause, and youth, of course, as well.
In as much as this nomination is concerned, you are the second woman to be nominated as far as this nomination is concerned, to serve as a nominee, aspirant for the National Assembly elections. Women being concerned and wanted to have seats in the National Assembly and being one of those that is contesting for this National Assembly election, do you hope to win this seat at your constituency and be one of the first women to represent Serekunda West constituency at the National Assembly?
Absolutely, yes. Hopeful, yes, I am. Because I've done the groundwork and I know my people need the caliber of Nenneh to represent them. Like you've said, I'm glad you mentioned the first woman to represent Serekunda West. All right? So it's a great achievement and it's a great stride for me to be the one to have stepped up to say I want to represent my constituency, being a young person as a woman from that constituency. But I always want to emphasize it's not only about my constituency, it's about Gambia, because that house is not a constituency house, it's a National Assembly house, which means it represents everybody, Gambians and people living in the Gambia. So for me, this is not about my constituency. Yes, they will be the one to vote because they're the ones who are registered within that constituency. But when I get in that house, I represent everybody standing here, everybody that lives in the Gambia. I pledge to represent you, and I hope I'll represent you to expectation.
There has been a lot of calls in terms of activism with regards to women being underrepresented in various institutions of the country. You have led the way, trying to contest for the first time in the National Assembly elections. What would you have to tell the women out there that are trying to also hold positions, public institutions, for instance?
Well, I'm not going to say I'm leading the way because there are great women out there who are doing it. There are great women out there who have done it before me. But still, we have a long way to go. We fell short. And it's not being handed over to us. So we have to get out there and fight for it. For me, I say we don't have to allow for us to be invited to the table. We are the table. We are women. You know, the women, we have the element of including everybody in everything that we do. So if we are underrepresented, if we're not given our dues, I think it's about time we get up ourselves and fight for it and get our rightful place on the table. We are the table, and we're supposed to be inviting people to the table, not people inviting us or giving us a seat to the table. Can you repeat that again?
What legislative reforms do you have in mind that you would want to push at the assembly if you are elected at the end of the day? Because we know that the National Assembly is not about giving water supply to people, but to come up with legislation to make sure that you impact positively on the life of the people that you are representing. So what are those legislative programs that you have?
Well, thank you very much. And then again, I always want to emphasize, I want to represent women, and we're underrepresented. Somebody has to get up and do it. It's not going to be easy, but once you are determined and committed and focused with a purpose and objective, you fight hard and get in there. You give other people the courage to believe that you can do it, and people believe that we can be there. And that's first and foremost that I want to do. But then again, we all know the mandate of National Assembly members. It's oversight. It's to hold the government accountable. It's to make laws. And of course, how can we help our communities? Basically, everybody cannot be there, the whole constituency. One is elected to be the voice, the mouthpiece of everybody else that can know the plight of the people that have elected you when you get in there, so that you can talk about their plight, you can talk about their issues. And when you do that, when laws are being made and already everybody that in there already have in mind the issues of the people in that constituency, it can be factored. So the water you're talking about, the road you're talking about, that's how our role in the National Assembly can bring such developments in our communities. Of course, it's the National Assembly that approves budget. Nobody else has the mandate or the authority to approve any budget that comes from the taxpayers' money. So if you have that authority and mandate to approve a budget, and then you are there from your constituency, you know their issues, you'll be able to scrutinize that budget. You'll be able to debate or argue that budget in having in mind or factoring the plight of your people or the development that your constituency needs. And that's how we bring development to our people.
Nenneh, you are going against NPP, UDP candidates, and these two parties are very powerful in the country. How sure are you that you're going to defeat the candidates of these parties?
Well, when you say powerful, it's subjective. Is it in terms of crowd? Is it in terms of the numbers? Or is it in terms of achievements? Is it in terms of how much they've done or they've changed people's lives and livelihood? Because if you're saying somebody is powerful and there is a lot of corruption in the country, there is a lot of hunger, prices are hiking, roads are bad, people are crying of electricity. 24/7 you sit in your house, you don't have electricity. There is no water. People are crying water. In this day and age, 21st century, people in the urban area still sit a day without water in their houses. I use bottled water. I don't have enough water in my house. My flowers are dying because I don't have water. But there is now a tank in there. So for me, you don't call that powerful. Powerful if you've achieved certain things that have touched the lives of citizens in the Gambia. For me, that's what I call powerful, and that's what I call achievement.
benn question rek ñu gis ne CA comme nu mu ko waxee rek parti yi bari neen waaye bokkuñu tey CA ñu taxawal la ñu dem ba si kanam rek nee na mu nekk si biir parlement bi nga ne fu mu nekk xaaral ma génn CA parce que dañuy gis ñoo xam ne tey ñu ngi si parlement bi after all of a sudden gisatu la leen si parti bi nga xam ne moom lañ jógee xeexante yi bari nañ si parlement bi National Assembly members yi ñoom neen du ñuy juboo du ñuy wax boo xam ne waxi dëkk bi la seen own poste dañ fa toogal du ñëpp a ko def waaye ñu bëree bëri ndax nee na su demee ba toog si parlement bi du nekk façon naka la naam yooyu noonu du taxawal even journalist yi oola sax ku laajte ay question am na lu fay dox nga ne déedéet du ma mun a wax xaaral ma xaar
waaye xam nga ku ci nekk sa dundin ak sa jëfin ak sa tur ak li nga def loolu mooy wone yow yaay kan te man mun naa taxaw fi puukaru ne yow xam nga ma man xam naa te ñi fi taxaw yëpp di media bi xam nañ man may kan parce que jëflante naan ñoom balaa may dugg Citizens Alliance ak bi ma fa nekkee su dee oyof la ak mun a tontu ci ñoom ak jokkalante ak ñoom foog naa ne su ma ne wut bu leet suma loxo ci kaw kenn du ko wàccee soo boo tegee ci loolu noonu su nekkee ne dundee naa suma dundin ci noonu ba tawlu fii nii macha allah fatilan fukki at ak benn fu mu nekk nii jikko ju ma am dama koy deeyaa rek fooguma ne dara mun na ko wécci te dugga foofu noonu du ne mara tax ma dugga fa du ne xiifa tax ma dugga fa waaye pour ne taxawal fa nit ñi pour seet ne xam naa luy seen bébét xam naa lu ñuy jooytu xam naa lu ñuy jànku wanteen gis ne mun naa faa dem seet naka lay jéem a aaree seen yooyu noonu moo tax ma dem fa man nag Citizens Alliance moo tax ma dugga ci parti dégg la balaa Citizens Alliance ay amangu ñetti at sax am na parti yu fi nekkoon waaye ni ñuy doxalee gëmuma ko seen gëm-gëm ak seen jaar-jaar du lu ma gëm te méngoowut man ak suma sarta ni may doxee ci suma dundin soo moo tax bokkuma ci waaye bu Citizens Alliance ñëwee ñu am ay sarta yuñ doxal ni ñuy doxee mu méngoo suma gëm-gëm ak man ne may doxee ma bokk foofu noonu fooguma ne am na dara luy tax may war a bàyyi gaay bu ma yan di bàyyit dafa fekk ne ñoom it ñoo jéggi yoon bi ñoo def loo xam ne di doxalee noo xam ne nekkut pour askan bi loolu dinaa am sañ-sañ pour bàyyi leen te dinaa ci kontaan dinaa ci puukaru pour bàyyi leen waaye bu loolu amut foog naa ne man maa Citizens Alliance la ba suma doom sax yaakaar naa ne bu demee ba mag ba am ité politique dinaa kontaan ne mu dugg a toppa ñun tànka yiñ fa def noonu ak liggéey biñ fa liggéey waaye man ak Citizens Alliance la.
Other candidates have said that they've made some achievements or contributions in their communities that guarantees them that their people are going to vote for them to go to the National Assembly. What have you done for your community that made you think that you are going to be elected by them and represent them at the National Assembly?
Well, those people, it is up to their community people, the people living in their communities, to talk about their achievements, and if they're satisfied, they can be elected. Because I don't live in those communities, and I am not going to be voting for them. So I have little to say about those developments they've made. But in terms of Serekunda West, I was born and bred and raised in Serekunda West. I have a very, very good relationship with people. And again, I would not always want to sit here and say, I've done this, I've done this. I want people to do their research and ask who Nenneh is. What has Nenneh done? And maybe if you consult with the people of Serekunda West, they'll be able to tell you the reason why they thought I am the best candidate in Serekunda West right now to salvage the situation of the people in Serekunda West. So I want to give you that homework to go to Serekunda West and ask them, why do you think Nenneh can represent you, or why are you calling or rallying behind Nenneh to be your representative? Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate you.